Can you guys still hear me like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I was going to say I just swiped out of Safari. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to reset on me.
Yeah, but it should be ready to share.
Okay.
We'll give it a few minutes.
Is there anything specific that you're wanting me to talk about, or questions that are coming at me or anything like that that'll help you guys out?
Have you ever raced Peoria?
I have in a D2 midget, actually.
Okay.
So,
So it'll be your first sprint car deal.
Yes, yeah, first time in a sprint car. I probably ran there twice in a D2 midget. So
Okay.
I think I finished third. I don't know if I should say that out loud. Someone might fact check me, but I think I finished third. So and one rained out. I do remember that. I think I
Yeah.
took the lead and then it rained out. So but yeah, I've been there.
Yep, here comes Marky.
Yep, I made it.
There he is.
About time.
I'm not
All
very happy. I bet Will had it in about 2 seconds.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Peoria Speedway live show with Jeff Hall, which is me. This week I've got a couple open wheel guests with us to get ready for the MOWA Sprint Car 410s return to Peoria Speedway and the MARA Midgets. So first off, we'll introduce Mark McMahill here with the MARA Midgets. Mark, you're not in the 57 anymore, so what are you driving now, Marky?
I'll be in the 11K this coming weekend in the Stephen Coons car. I've also been driving for the 77 of Brian Holderfield. Just kind of after last season's incidents, just kind of decided to go a different route and try and focus on more just being a driver instead of trying to, promote myself and a car owner and maintenance and, all the above. Just kind of wanted to go a different route. So it's been working out pretty well so far. But yeah, most of my focus has been with the Stephen Coons 11K ride.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys don't know Mark, which he does have a midget win at Peoria. The family has a long history at Peoria Speedway, so Mark always looks forward to any race he can get at Peoria. His uncle, well, I think your grandpa raced there, your uncle, your dad, and then you, and then what was it? It's probably 2021, 2020, somewhere around there was probably the last time we had midgets, and you won one of those races down there that night.
Yeah, 2019, and it was actually my first midget win ever. I started racing midgets in 2017 for just a couple of races, and 2018 was my first full season, and then we clicked off our first win at 2019 at Peoria. So who would have thought we could have actually had the very first win there? Pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, so give some history or give some talk about this MARA Midget series. I know it's been a while since they've been at Peoria. Quinn, right?
Quinn McCabe.
Yeah. I reached out to him because every year I tell Mark I'm going to try to get another midget show at Peoria, and finally I was able to get the trigger on that to go with it, and I'm excited. I know Quinn's excited, and it sounds like quite a few of the MARA guys are excited. Tell us a little bit about the series.
They kind of revived it from my understanding. Just kind of dates back from the early 2000s on the MARA, and just kind of the sister club of the long history from Badger. Same rules. We've been having a lot really well car counts, and just great officiating as far as all that, how it's ran. They take care of everything. They take care of the drivers. It's been pretty outstanding as far as you show up to the track and things are taken care of and just runs really smooth, especially for an outfit to come in and just they have to mesh with so many different tracks at a time, and they just they bring all the stuff that they need to run a great race program, and it works out really well. Really excited to get back to Peoria for sure. I've always been talking with you about every year, Jeff, like, all right, we need to get the midgets back for sure. And so, I'm pretty excited to get back there and race again. I always brought my car every chance I got just to make some practice laps. It's just a really fun open wheel track for sure. I am pretty biased as far as that growing up around Peoria, but it is a great midget track for sure.
Yeah, we got you, and then there's the young man out of Metamora. He hit every practice we had this year with the 71 car. I don't remember his name, but I know they've been itching for a race at Peoria also.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to beat when it's 2 miles from home.
Yeah. And we're stepping back and taking a night off from the late models and the street stocks. There's a big show up in LaSalle for those guys, and the open wheel crowd is so much different. And I'll get talking with Brendon and Will about that. I don't think it's going to bother us much. I think the open wheel fan base is going to be looking for a place to go, and they got 2 nights with Lincoln and Peoria both, and not too far apart. So I think they'll show up and support both races, and I think it's going to be a good weekend. We've been always looking for a Saturday show for the MOWA cars because we've always had them in the week, during the week, and car counts would be up and down depending. I think our best car count was the Illinois Speed Week race we had, and it ended up getting rained out. But we had Rico and all kinds of people were there for that one. But yeah, we're excited to see you back down there. And who all do you want to thank, Mark, to get you in this ride and up and down the road?
Got to thank the entire Coons family. You know, Steven, especially, he's the car owner. Dad's right there with me, you know, helping us wrench and make sure we get everything on the track and make sure, you know, I'm comfortable. So just, you know, really didn't know what I was going to be doing this year racing. I'm pretty humbled that I had a couple of people reach out to me to race. So, you know, that in itself was pretty humbling. I didn't know if I was going to race or not, but just kind of felt like I still had a little left in me. So it's nice to know that once other people knew that I still was interested in driving, that they had, you know, just as much faith in me to keep driving. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that you got back in a ride here, because I was joking with you after one of the wrecks. Well, the wreck last year was bad enough, but I was telling you then it's time to get out and get you back into a modified or something. But
hey,
those things
he wants to put me in one. I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Marky. Well, thanks for coming on. I know. Are you getting ready to head to work, or? I know you said you were going to be at the airport, or.
Yep, I got a little bit over an hour here to get some chores done, and then go to my second job. So racing's been expensive, so.
Yeah, exactly. So
gotta do what you gotta do.
Guys, yeah, exactly. So midget fans, come out and support the hometown kid this weekend. McMahills are well known around Peoria and have a great history with Peoria, and hopefully Mark has a good run and can probably pick up another win down there. I know everybody will be excited to see it. So.
Yep, absolutely. I don't think I'll be able to try any harder than I will be Saturday.
So, all right, Mark, thanks for coming on with us, and have a good night at work, and we'll see you this weekend.
Yep, thank you. Looking forward to it. See ya.
All right, see you later. All right, next I'm going to bring on Brendon. A lot of you guys know Brendon already. Brendon Bauman photos, but he's also taken part in the MOWA series the last, what's it been now, 5 or 6 years you've actually stepped in and you've helped with scheduling and things like that. So
yeah, about 5 or 6 now, you say so.
Brendon's got a little history on the MOWA sprint cars at Peoria. It's been 8 or 9 years since the last race down there, and we took a couple of years off of sprint cars anyway, and then finally got it to where we tried the Sprint Invaders for a couple of years, and we're ready to step back in with the 410s and bring MOWA back. So why don't you give us a little rundown on some of the history there with MOWA and Peoria?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, on behalf of Series Director Kenny Dobson, all our entire officiating crew, myself, and our drivers, who we're looking forward to getting back to Peoria this weekend. It's been, as you said, Jeff, since 2017 since we were last there with the series. Quite a bit of Jake Blackhurst, local kid there from Kansas City, in the family car at the time, picked up the win. Excuse me. I'm not as well versed as Will with interviews, but we'll try this. But Jake picked up the win there in the family 25 car, the kitchen cook car, when his dad and him were still together. Now he's driving for Levi Curry and Nathan Sharon out of Lincoln, running the 96 car. So like I said, we've been there 5 different times. We've had 3 features contested there. The one we won't really touch base on, we had a car that made its way through the fence at the end of the evening early. It's our 5th visit to the track. Will on here is our reigning champion. Excited to have him coming in. And, I wanted to touch on this before Mark left, but Will's our most recent MOWA winner at Jacksonville back on May 9th. And by virtue of a disqualification there last weekend, Mark picked up the win in the MARA race. So you've got both guys that were just on here tonight as the most recent winners with their respective series. So, but yeah, looking forward to getting back for sure. Peoria is always late models and modifieds there for years, but kind of the black sheep, if you will, and went to the dark side and get to watch sprint cars all throughout the state of Illinois, and mainly working with Kenny at Jacksonville, and made that my home track now, and that just led into going to help with MOWA. So here we are, 2025, I think it's the 14th year of the series, started back in 2011. And in that time, since inception to today, Jared Hall was our first champion, winning 2011 to 2015. Brad Loyette picked up 2016. Parker Price Miller was 2017 champion. Jacob Patton was the 2018 champion. 2019, 22, and 23, Paul Neal picked up the shortened season in 2020 during COVID. Zach Dahm in 21, and then Will, like I said, in 24. So a wide variety of names and some well-known racers in their own rights that have ran with the series over time and have been pretty successful. So Will last year picked up his first career win with us at Red Hill down in Sumner, the big track. It was a neat place, cool place to see Will get a win at, and picked up last weekend, 2 weeks ago at Jacksonville. So I know he'll be hungry for more this weekend.
Yeah, and you were talking about some of the past champions there. I'm pretty sure I talked to Zach. He's going to be up here, and Nienheiser. I know he's on vacation right now, but he's planning on being back for the weekend, I believe. So you're going to have 3 of your past champions with us this weekend. And then, like you said, you can't count out Jake, the hometown. We'll call him the hometown kid with the Hannah or farming. Is it Hannah City?
Yeah, Hannah City.
Hannah City, yeah. The family, do they still own Kitchen Cook Potato Chips? Or
no, so Blackhurst family sold that off to Utz out in Hanover, Pennsylvania a number of years ago. So they're out of that now. His dad's in retirement. And when I talked to Jake a few weeks ago at Sycamore, he says he's loving life. So I'm sure just a tip of the cap to Paul and for everything he's done for Jake. And
yeah, so yeah, so you guys are going to see. I was watching I've been watching the car counts lately, and heck, Friday night Jacksonville, it was just a weekly show, I believe, and you guys had 26 sprint cars. That's pretty good for a weekly show. But with it being a 2-day show, I would think maybe a little over 30 at each race, maybe. But I mean, 25 to 30, I think we'll be happy with that. Well, have you heard?
Yeah, it can vary. Go ahead.
Have you heard from I seen a few Wisconsin midget guys are coming down, but have you heard of anybody that is running the IRA or is taking a break because they're not racing? Are they going to be hitting the double week or 2 races this weekend? Or is it the outside guys that you could think of that might be showing up? Or
yeah, I mean, I know back to IRA, Jake Newman, guys that would go run up north with Steve and his series. I'm sure we'll have a few more of those their drivers come down, having their time off. Their next race isn't actually until the 13th of June at Jacksonville. So IRA will come to Jacksonville this year. They've got a weekend that'll be Jacksonville and Peevely. They're June 13th and June 14th. So we always look forward to either having some of Steve's competitors come down or any events where we kind of work together with Steve and the IRA and, like the Bill Waite Memorial up at LaSalle, back at Berry and what have you. So, just looking forward to a good weekend all around with both nights. Lincoln's usually a good show, brings out some good cars. It's always you really never know who's going to show up until you get there type of thing with some people. So we reached out to a couple teams, but I think we could be in that mid to high 20s, maybe even low 30s for sure. So Will's going to have his work cut out for him. That's all I know.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead. We'll keep Brendon on here, but we'll go ahead and we'll bring the reigning champion of the series on, Will. Looks like he's got a bear car right behind him, but
Shop night tonight for sure. It's been a busy day.
So we were just talking. You have been to Peoria before, but not in a sprint car. You said you had you ran the D2 midgets there a couple times. Will, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you think the sprint cars now will run around Peoria? I know we've had some new dirt put on the last year. We had one full season on it, and so far what we've got this year, it's been pretty racy for the modifieds and the late models. But we've never had the sprint cars this early in the season, so hopefully I know Cody and the guys have been down there working the track, so hopefully it has some moisture in it for you guys to start the night off. And typically Peoria slicks off throughout the night somewhere. And just tell us about the 410s and what the fans can expect to see out of them. I think with the 360s, we were Brendon, what would you say? They were probably in the high 10 seconds, mid 10 seconds with 360s.
Sure they were probably that 10.5 to 11 for sure. And that was a state fair weekend. So it was a little bit warmer there later in the year. So I remember having a little bit of water in the infield, which wasn't a bad thing. So
I think he froze up a little bit, but
all
right, we'll go ahead and tell us.
His camera lens fogged over, guys. Everybody watch out.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting heated.
No, I feel like that transitions, having Mark McMahill on transitions perfectly into having me on tonight, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me come on and talk about having MOWA at Peoria. But I did run a D2 midget there a few years ago for Kent Johnson. I think we ran there twice, and I think led a few laps there and ended up with a podium one night. And I really feel like the track suits my style. So I'm super excited about getting back there. I know you mentioned there's some new dirt on the track, but I would assume it's still bull ring action where it slicks off and puts it in the driver's hands at the end of the night, which is what I'm all about. And I know a lot of the MOWA guys are too. A series like this, there's a lot of people that are excited about smaller tracks where you take the engine equation out and, lay it on the setup and the driver. And that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So I know we've had some really good car counts lately. And speaking on behalf of MOWA, I look forward to a really competitive weekend at two of my favorite tracks. Where we're really close to home. This is actually our closest weekend to home, really more so than Jacksonville even. Peoria is about an hour from our location and 30 minutes from Lincoln. So really excited to be able to sleep in my own bed and finish maintenance before 4 a.m. this weekend. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. So I've already went over the order of events with Brendon the other day, but the midgets will end up running second throughout the night for heat races and feature, and the 410 sprints will follow third. So hopefully the track stays in good shape for you guys and for the rest of the classes. And if we do have to do some track prep, I know they will. Peoria has typically been getting over at a decent time, and one thing I've been trying to push is to have the drivers stick around a little bit and have the fans come back. So hopefully with you guys being close to home, we can get some of the drivers to stick around. And it's not very often the Peoria Speedway fans get to go and see sprint cars up close like that. So do you have hero cards or anything like that you'd hand out to fans? Or
Well, I'll tell you right now, Brendan's going to be mad at me for that because he's been asking me to do hero cards for me for a while. I might be able to knock something out if I can get him to stay up one night. But to touch on that, in all seriousness, it's really important to me to touch with the fans, and all the MOWA drivers. I think, even a late night at Jacksonville when people come down after the races, whether it's a good night or a bad night, a fan can turn that around, in my opinion. So I look forward to staying around for a little bit, especially this close to home. And I hope to see a lot of you fans that are watching live come down and meet us and maybe grab a hat or a shirt or hopefully a hero card. I'll work on that. Brendan's texting me right now, so tell him to put his phone down. He's like, I can't believe you just did that. But no, it really is important to me. Fan interaction, anytime we can get it, especially at my age, I'm looking to build a fan base, and I've got a lot to work against, when I've got Paul, who has the whole MOWA fan base behind him, and rightfully rightfully so. So I look forward to hopefully making some new fans and maybe some fans that remember me from when I ran a midget, back when I was 14 and 15 there with Kent Johnson. So it's important to me, and I know a lot of MOWA guys would agree.
Yeah. So Will, who do you want to thank that gets you up and down the road here and gets you through the week at the shop, and it makes all this possible for you?
Yeah, I'm probably going to forget some names for sure. We've got some great people behind us just from a lot of hard work and dedication with marketing. But definitely in the shop right behind me, I just had Hunter out here. He's younger and learning and doing everything he can to help me out throughout the week. So Hunter's around. We have Cam Fitzsimmons. Jim Craig builds our engines. I've got my mom and my dad behind me all the time. My girlfriend does a great job helping me out with t-shirts and stuff, and so do my sisters. So the crew never ends, and there's always people helping out. We even have a new guy with Robbie Hunt this year, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Actually, his first race helping us out, truly, we ended up picking up the win. So that was really exciting for me, and hopefully he's our good luck charm. We'll keep him around for that. But then on the partner side, we've got XK Glow, which is our primary partner lighting company for Jeeps and off-road automobiles and everything like that. So really high quality and super cool to spread their brand with a cool approach. CHE Precision helps us a lot in the engine department. Gosh, I'm gonna mess this up. My dad with Armitage Collision Repair, of course, is a really huge part of it. MPV Express, Custom Property Solutions, Smith Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Grau Chevrolet and Lincoln. We'll visit them this week. Noonan Rental, Modern Paving and Scrap, Alliance Community Bank, Gilmore Allen Insurance. The list goes on. There's so many great people and a lot of new partners this year that I look forward to promoting this weekend and the rest of the season.
Yeah. So thank you, Will, for coming on and talking to us a little bit about the return of the MOWA Sprint Cars to Peoria. I know it's been talked about a lot and people are excited. Peoria, I mean, it's got the history of sprint cars there. I mean, if you think about it, the Standridges have been around Peoria in everything from sprint cars to late models to modifieds. A lot of people don't know, but Jeff Gordon was actually fired at Peoria Speedway in the 23S car back in the day. The Schaff clan told him he would never amount to a race car driver, and he goes off and wins 4 Winston Cup championships.
Jeff, I think that was before Will and I were alive.
Awesome.
Oh, it was. I was probably 4 or 5 years old at that point, but you look at, I mean, Danny Lasowski, he's got feature wins at Peoria. Tony Stewart's been there. There's just all kinds of names that have been there over the years in sprint cars. And I know one guy looking forward to this the most probably is Tommy Scott. He's been a big supporter of Peoria here the last year and a half. And everybody knows his background with open wheel cars and how he was on the tour for a while with the sprint cars. So now we're excited to see you guys. And again, thank you for coming on tonight and best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm excited to see some stock car fans out at an open wheel track, and hopefully we can continue this the rest of the season and into the future, because I know the fans love it.
Yes, that's right. So hopefully this year's a good one, and we continue to do this year after year. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming on, and get them hero cards ordered through Brendon. We know he'll do some good work there for you. So
we'll get it done.
All right. We'll
Thanks,
see you this
guys.
weekend.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you, Will. Thanks, buddy.
All right, I'm going to keep Brendon on here. Brendon, give us a little take on like how does the MOWA program throughout the night go? I know you guys no longer do qualifying, so can you explain to the fans what we're looking at?
Yeah. So format wise, we're a typical pill draw and passing points program. So we'll typically lock in about 14 to 16 cars out of our heat races, depending where we're at with a B main and then an A main. We don't run dashes anymore. So like I said, we'll just lock in. So B main to set up the last few cars to get to about 20 to 21 car starting field. Usually start around 20. So it should be a good show. Like you said, probably a good 4 heat program. Just really excited to get sprint cars back to Peoria for sure. So I know you've had the sprint bidders there the last couple of years, but it'll be exciting for sure to see a 410 back on the racetrack there.
Yeah, I'm looking for some good hot fast times during hot lap. Well, probably not hot laps because it'd still be not in race condition because it's still slimy a little bit. But come heat race time, I think we're going to be seeing some good fast racing out there, and hopefully see some good slide jobs, and you might see some wheel stands in hot laps maybe. But
yeah, anything's possible with the group of drivers we got, that's for sure. So
yeah. So for the guys that people's been asking, I know I went on vacation for Memorial Day weekend, so people have been asking about the flyers for this week and the prices to get in. So we're sticking with our normal times. Pit gates will open at 3:30. Draw will close at 5. Brendon, what time is your guys' draw closing?
15 minutes before our drivers meeting or so, probably just run it right before you guys, just so we can get our engine heat in for the guys before we roll into hot laps. So probably 5:30, 5:45. I'll have that hashed out here probably later tonight, first thing in the morning for sure. But yeah, not too much later than actually, yeah, 5:45 looks like what I've got on my notes here. We'll cut draw off there next. Oh no, that's late. You're doing hot laps at 5:45. Probably 5:30.
Yeah. Well, hot laps. So midget hot laps are actually set for 5:30. So draw closes at 5. Drivers meet at 5:15 for us, with the midget hot laps starting at 5:30.
Yeah, I'll bump that.
Yeah. And then order of events we're looking at, it's going to be the midget hot laps. Then we'll go into 410 sprint car hot laps. We'll come back with B-Mod qualifying, modified qualifying. Then we'll come back with B-Mod heat races, midget heat races, 410 sprint car heat races, modified heat races, then the kid mods and the Hornets. And that's how we'll run the whole night. So we'll if there's any track prep that needs to be done, Cody and Jay will take care of that. B-Mods, they'll do their 15-lap features still. How many laps do you guys run for a feature? I'd probably say probably 30, 25 or 30. 25 or 30 for your guys' feature? Okay.
Yeah, we'll go 25 laps for the feature, Jeff.
Okay. And then modifieds will be 20. Kid mods will be an 8-lap feature, and Hornets will be a 15-lap feature. So pit passes will be $40 to get in this weekend. Kids 10 and under will be $20. Grandstands will be $25, with kids 10 and under free. I'll post a flyer when we get done here, but other than that, I think that's all the information we have for tonight. I'm looking forward to this. I know you've been asking me for a couple of years, when can we come back? And I finally got the trigger to do it. So you got two guys that are pretty excited to have this going on. Brendon will have his hands full between the camera and helping sign ins and all that. So but that's all I've got. Brendon, do you got anything else that you'd like to talk about? Or
I don't think so, Jeff. I think you pretty much covered everything between myself, Will, and Mark. So I think just the four of us all together on here, looking forward to a good weekend for sure. And MARA is actually racing with us at Lincoln on Friday, so it's a double weekend for them as well. Both series at both tracks. So you should. You're an open wheel fan for sure. So if you're not following the Mars race up at LaSalle, but want to be closer to home or what have you, you've got Peoria, Lincoln in your backyard this weekend with the sprint car special. So definitely looks like good weather this weekend for sure. So just get out and support your local racetracks.
Yep. So, all right, guys, that's Brendon Bauman with the MOWA series and Brendon Bauman photos. So be checking his stuff out this coming weekend between him and our track photographer, UAMP, Brian, who's been killing it with all his posts with the points count, like how he's been doing his points deal for the top 5. I asked him to do a video for us, and I asked Brendon to grab some shots for us down at Jacksonville, and he killed it on that video for the MOWA sprint cars coming to Peoria.
Yeah, Jeff, let me touch on that real quick if you could. And thanks for bringing that up. Just a note. tip of the cap to Brian for his hard work with that, and to Jack Ritz and Mike Raba for their help with some video coverage. Those guys tend to do more video work than I do, so I relied on them from some different shows that they've been with us with MOWA, whether it be at Jacksonville or somewhere else. They've seen some of our guys, so thankful to them to have that footage to be able to put something together. So again, we're all looking forward to getting back to Peoria on Saturday.
Yep. So, all right, guys, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks, Brendon, for coming on and talking with us for a little bit, and we'll see you this weekend.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you.
All right. Again, if you guys, for this weekend, pit pass is $40 for adults. Kids 10 and under are $20. Grandstands will be $25. Kids 10 and under free. Pit gates will open at 3:30. Draw closes at 5. Drivers meeting at 5:15. Midget hot laps will start at 5:30. I believe the same will go for MOWA and the MARA Midgets on times for draw closing and drivers meetings. I think they're going to do the motor heat for the midgets and the sprint cars right around 5:15, I think is what Brendon was telling me earlier. And again, midgets will be second. Sprint cars will be third on the lineup all night. So we hope to see everybody out at the Peoria Speedway this weekend and the return of the MOWA 410 sprint cars and the MARA Midgets. It should be a good show. Be watching out for, like I said, I'll have the flyer out here in a little bit. I was just finishing it up right before the show started. So